Excuse me, ladies. I'm featuring epic conversations, 5-minute epic conversations for my podcast. I would like to ask if you would be willing to be a part.
And so who are you with?
My own podcast, actually, online.
Your own podcast?
That's right, yes.
And what kind of podcast is it?
It's a podcast featuring, absolutely, on the theme of integrity. That's what I focus on.
Oh,
Indeed. Would you
okay.
be willing to be a part?
Yeah, I would do that.
Fantastic. May I join you down here?
Sure.
I'll feature you on camera as well, if that's all right.
Oh, I'm okay with
You're
it.
all right with
I'm
that?
Sure she
Okay,
is.
then film her.
I'm happy to just
Okay.
include her then.
I'll talk to
Consent
her.
is a big part for me. Okay, I'll sit right
You'll
down.
have to give me your information. I want to.
Absolutely, my dear. I would be happy to do so. Let me just feature myself comfortably here. May I learn your name first?
Brenda.
My name is Binyam.
Binyam.
Yes.
Hi, Binyam.
Brenda
Where are you from?
and her comrade, who I will not feature because she is not comfortable on camera. I'm from Ethiopia originally.
Okay.
Indeed.
Nice to meet you.
So the way this goes, 5-minute epic conversations. I've got a list here in my hand.
Okay.
Choose a number between 1 and 15, and I will read my question and then get your thoughts on it.
Okay.
How does that sound?
Sure.
Awesome. What number between 1 and 15?
Let's go 7.
7, okay. So the question is, can someone with a criminal record have integrity? Explain.
I think someone can because they may have a false criminal record.
Oh, okay.
Like an ex-president. No, you know, there
Absolutely.
I know that there's a lot of people incarcerated
Yes.
with a criminal record
Right.
that don't belong in jail.
I
because
believe
they're
you.
Falsely.
I believe you. And a lot of times it may be even just a moment of out of character actions that got them there as well,
Yeah.
which doesn't reflect who they are.
Yeah.
I do believe you as
Yeah,
well.
for sure.
How about one who was rightfully convicted, but in the midst of their time there, they may have changed or shifted their perspective?
That, well, that again, some people I believe that are rightfully convicted.
Yes.
If they either contemplated as the time goes by while
For sure.
they're in jail,
Yeah.
or if they have support.
Sure. Yeah.
What am I trying to say?
Encouragements to consider a different
yeah,
path.
like what am I trying to say? Like support from a psychologist,
Right.
Or you know,
Yeah. So you believe that people can change.
I do.
And
yes.
so in essence, integrity once lost isn't always lost.
I think so. Yes.
That's amazing. I think I
Yes.
agree with you as well. So you in some way believe in the redeemable aspect of humans in general. Is there anything a person can do where integrity is never possible for them again?
Well, just off the top of my head, if there's like schizophrenic or if there's sociopath is what I'm trying. Yeah, sociopath is what
Gotcha.
I'm trying to say. That's what I can think of.
Sure
right
enough,
at the
sure
moment.
enough. Okay.
Or what was my dad?
I love that you're thinking deeply. Thank you.
Dementia.
No.
You're not thinking of sociopaths.
When you're a person that a narcissist.
Oh, yeah. I can see that as well too. I'm just having trouble thinking in the camera there. Brenda it is, right?
Yes.
Brenda. What does integrity mean to you?
Oh, so much. Like I don't know.
Give me the core part.
Oh,
at the
now
very
you're
core.
asking me things that I haven't thought about.
That's okay. And this is the fun part. It's just after I leave here, I'm sure you both are going to have a conversation about this.
Yes.
But you see, my intention for having this as my theme is to get it more on people's radar in an intentional way, and how we live with it, how we consider its aspect in our lives, that kind of thing.
All I can say off the top of my head is, you know, I grew up with parents that taught me honesty and integrity and values and
And I think it's often led by a moral compass.
You know, I had that like
It has to be
square
led
in the middle
by
of
a moral
mine.
compass.
Yeah. Yeah, so some way of saying you should or you shouldn't do something or not do something, right? I think I agree with you there too. Here's my thoughts on it. I came up with this definition. It's sequential, so I said a consistent. So consistency is a big part for me when I think of integrity. Consistent desire, one has to desire it as well, I believe. Consistent desire to have one's internal values match their outward actions while being true to themselves and respectful of others around them. And something else I thought of, I'm not sure if you would agree with me on this, Brenda, and companion, Susan, delightful. would you say, I think this, but I'm not sure if you'd agree, integrity does make sense if you're the only person in the world. Another way of saying it is integrity only makes sense if you're living in community with others. What do you think?
Well,
'Cause-
then you have some gauge.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Some
yeah, yeah.
gauge
Yeah.
I mean, we intrinsically know what's right and wrong, but where does that come from? Does that come from, our community, our surroundings? I think so, for sure. We have to be held accountable. How are we held accountable?
Right.
Partly by ourselves and what we believe to be right or wrong, but where did we learn that right or wrong from? Our family, our friends, our coworkers, but ultimately you have to make that decision yourself.
I like it. Yeah. Would you say then, Susan, that integrity differs from one cultural context to another?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Is
I
there
would agree
a
with
definitive sort of core of what integrity should look like, or is it different from cultural contexts appropriately?
I don't know what to
I
say.
I think it would be fair to say that it would be, it would definitely vary between cultures.
Gotcha.
Without singling out any one particular
Sure.
culture. Right now we're looking at things that are happening within the Muslim community,
Right.
right?
Right.
If you're not within that community,
Mhm.
it's very difficult to fathom how they come to the decisions that they come to with regards to treating, the opposite sex.
Sure enough.
So, it's a very complex.
I
It's not
agree.
black and white by any means.
Hence
right?
why these conversations are so juicy.
Yes. And tolerance, I think, has to be at the root of everything. Conversation and tolerance, and that adage where we have to agree to disagree. Sometimes you just have to walk away and say, okay, I respect your decision in a non-violent, non-confrontational way.
Sure
and,
enough.
and move on.
Sure enough.
Yeah, one thing that really bothers me these days is that just everybody seems, not everybody, but there just seems to be so much anger out
Right.
there.
Right.
And just people not respecting other cultures and other
Opinions. for
opinions
sure.
or just everywhere.
I
Just,
hear ya.
maybe I don't know. I don't even watch that much news, so
Me neither.
I just can't because
Me
if
neither.
I did, I'd be. Yeah.
My last question for you both, if you're both willing. My platform specifically focuses on what does integrity for young men specifically look like? What would you say if you had the ears of young men with reference to integrity?
I'm not a young man, so
I know.
I don't.
But I'm sure you observe some things along the way where you're like, here's what, maybe it's that you think young men are doing amazing with integrity today in general. Or maybe you're thinking, oh, here's some thoughts and observations I've seen along the way that may be helpful for young men to
Well,
consider.
this is just
Sure.
a little example.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, and I'm a little bit of a feminist,
Yeah.
but I kind of like when people hold the door open for me, right?
Sure.
And I've got 2 sons, and I think I taught them correctly.
Wow.
I hope they open the doors for people, but I was
Yeah.
at a mall the other day, and somebody did, and that's a little bit rare. Actually, I even used to work in construction,
Okay.
and so I was one female with a bunch of males working in a new build home, and out of the 15 years I did that, there was, I guess this doesn't apply to young men, it was like men around 30 years old or so.
Sure enough.
Out of the 15 years,
Yeah.
there was 2, possibly 3 guys
Okay.
that asked if they could help me with my ladders, and
I see.
yeah, and I'm thinking, really?
So there's something
So,
missing there.
Yeah, but they weren't young men. But
Gotcha.
I would hope that moms teach their kids properly.
So another way of saying it, you hope chivalry is not dead because you feel that's a part for young
Yeah.
men of integrity.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's just being kind to other
Sure.
people,
I
really.
like that. Yeah, yeah.
That's what the world is supposed to be.
Indeed.
One thing, if I may say,
Absolutely,
when it comes
Susan.
to, being a young man nowadays
Yes.
is, in the last several years, it's taken on a new meaning. I think we have watched women evolve over the years since the suffragette movement. Since we got the vote.
Sure.
And we just accept it as a kind of a rite of passage. Empowering women, girls rule, all of that. I don't think. I think men and our young boys have gotten left behind. They still have that sort of hunter-gatherer instinct. It's ingrained in them, and I think our young men now they're starting to realize it's okay to be sensitive. Men do cry. It's okay to be empathetic. It doesn't mean I'm less of a man. And I think we expect our young men to like television. Okay, you'll see movies and TVs reflecting. A woman will playfully punch a man. Well, how do you think the man feels in real life? They have to take that. If I don't, I can't do anything to retaliate, right? So I think our young men are starting to realize that it's okay to be sensitive, it's okay to cry, it's okay to talk about my feelings.
Yeah, I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I really hope so. Yeah.
I like that. Susan, Brenda, it's been such a delight. The bugs are just coming out.
Starting to come out now that the sun is gone.
Thank you for being a part of this. Oh, I was going to give you my information, wasn't I?
I would like it, yeah.
You don't have a pen on you, do you? I have a pen on me. Here.
I put it in here.
Now, if
Yes.
you want to say it,
I can say
I can
it.
delete what
Oh,
I'm recording.
beautiful.
I wanted to get your permission.
That's
but
okay.
yeah.
No, you're more than welcome to keep it.
Okay.
I'm online already, and so
Yeah.
I'm very open about.
I thought so. Okay.
So I'll spell my name for you.
Okay.
Binyam. That's my first name. Asress.
Okay.
So if you search my name together
Perfect.
on YouTube, you'll find so much of my content that I do, what I'm about, what I'm trying to accomplish.
Can you spell your last name again, please?
Asress.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for this time. This has been
Oh
so
my
delightful.
gosh. What a treat for us.
I
Thank
appreciate that.
you.
It's my pleasure.
How do you pronounce your first name?
Binyam.
Binyam.
Yes.
It's just, we're here just visiting. She's from Red Deer and I'm up from St. Albert.
Oh, no
We
way.
have had so many serendipitous moments.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's just been, people have crossed our path, have shown
We got
kindness
some
and fun.
coupons
We've got
here.
some
We got some coupons
Oh,
at the
man.
restaurant we were at today.
Yeah.
We had two ladies over there stopping us, telling us you're so cool.
That's
And
amazing.
then you show
For
up
this to
with a
happen.
mic.
Oh,
I always wanted to be a star on stage. No, I'm
that's
just kidding.
amazing. No, it's delightful for me. I don't. I am, but that's okay. I can pause here in just a moment. For me, it's meaningful because when you have something to share that's worthwhile sharing, that could really serve others, it just seems a crime to keep it for yourself. And so I'm looking for ways of expanding the conversation, encouraging and inspiring others. So specifically, my platform is about inspiring young men to integrity and what that could look like in specific. They're sort of my honing in group. But I think in general, though, it's one that really benefits culturally all around.
There is an organization that started last summer that I wanted to get behind, and it's
Yeah.
called Menship.
Okay.
And they started it in St. Albert.
Okay.
I don't know if it's something that's expanded itself to other cities and they're just calling it a different name, but the city of St. Albert was approached
Yeah.
by a group of men between 20 and 40 saying, we feel that there's a pocket of men out there that are getting left behind. They need a voice. They need a way of community and getting together to share ideas and show support.
Yes, yeah.
And say, it's okay, I need support.
Yeah.
Right? And so they needed to get the word out. So I got involved in that quite actively.
Okay.
I couldn't speak enough about getting involved with young men and letting them know that it's okay. If you need some assistance, you need some help, there is a group for you. So it's called Menship.
Okay.
And I think the other cities may have got something like that going.
I should definitely
don't
check that
know.
out.
But so they meet once a month.
Okay.
It's free. They have barbecue and soft drinks and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then men of all ages. It's 18 to 100 kind of thing.
Oh my goodness.
So
That's amazing. I'm
yeah,
gonna follow up on that.
It really is. Yeah. Well, I mean, it got off the ground, and now they're up and running.
Okay.
But I think our young men need a voice. They need to know it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to say, you know what? I can't be the strong one this week. I need my partner or my parent or my sibling to help me out.
Love it.
I'm not doing well.
Yeah.
I need some help.
I love it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I'll check that out.
What's your podcast called?
So if you look under the same name on YouTube,
Okay.
it'll take you right to it. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where you'll find me.
Okay.
Brenda.
Thank you.
My
And
pleasure, Susan.
Yes, yes. I'm so glad you stopped us. So have you had good success with?
I just started.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
So I'm going to spend some time just walking through the park here, getting some input, sharing that, and I feel that'll be really inspiring for those who come along and watch.
Do you have a different? Oh, you must have a different podcast topic each week. Or is this what you're focusing on?
Integrity is my main theme that I'm saying. This is my long-term investments,
Oh my
but
gosh.
Analyzing it from different angles, creative ways. There's just so much to talk on it. So much. I feel it touches so much of our life, honestly. So I'm not wanting. Like right now, I just finished a series on the prerequisites for integrity. What does that look like? So I finished about a week and a half of that. Now I'm jumping into the theme of courage and integrity. What does that look like for us as young men to explore courage as it's paired up with integrity?
Would you say that accountability is at the root
Oh.
of all of that?
Oh, good question. Oh my goodness. Okay. Accountability was one of my prerequisites, I said. There's quite a few integral ones. The ones that I said were the heavy hitters. So if you think of integrity like a pie and pieces of the pie that are made up of it, a really big one I kept hammering over and over was consistency. Accountability, I think, leans heavily on consistency. It doesn't make sense to be accountable once in a while. But if you do it consistently
You can't
over and
cherry-pick
over,
accountability.
no, actually, you can't cherry pick integrity. I would argue,
can't.
because if you're
No.
saying, can I? Like one of the questions I have here is it possible to choose which areas you're going to have integrity in and which areas you're not? Because then, what does that look like? How-
Integrity is at the core of
Yeah.
who you are. It's your soul.
Indeed, yeah.
It's who you choose to be.
And that's one of the ways I explain it to my audience is to say it asks for everything. It doesn't let you out of any hooks. It says you're going to follow through as much awareness as comes to your frame of reference. You're going to have to deal with it. And if you're really committed to it, and the second part to that consistency piece is desire. So I had those right at the outset of the definition I proposed, saying the consistent desire. So this is something that I think for it to really stick for those who want to participate in it, the momentum comes with desire, saying I want what the benefits are, but you have some hard work to go through as you get into a better version of yourself, right? So, yeah.
There's that desire of kind of the human flesh desire, like,
Yeah.
oh, what tastes good, what feels
Sure,
good,
sure.
What I see is good.
Yeah.
And then there's like, okay, wait a minute, we now need to separate this and what's at our core?
Yeah.
What is really going to be long lasting?
Yeah.
That's going to take me for the rest of my life.
And the biggest part of that, Susan, I would argue, is how well do you know yourself? It takes some time for you to actually get to know what makes you you. Why are you wired the way you're wired? How can you actually speak? Now, it's different from authenticity. One of the questions I asked along the way is, what's the difference between authenticity and integrity? And I would say authenticity is a person just being who they are unapologetically, which is wonderful. It's celebrated well. But a person could really still be someone terrible authentically. The part you were mentioning about integrity, it brings that moral component, especially when you're thinking of yourself in community. How can I be who I truly am, authentic, while still being aware of the community I'm around in the way that I can play well along with others? How can I be true to myself while also maintaining boundaries, while maintaining and advocating for where your commitments and values are? Without fear, courageousness is there too, just so many elements. It's a rich topic.
Oh, is it ever? I'm so glad you stopped.
That's why I
my
feel your
gosh.
conversation after I leave here is going to
Yeah,
be just
okay,
as
well,
juicy. There's Susan, who's been a fantastic part of this conversation as well.
I'm so thrilled you stopped by.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
I
that's
appreciate
awesome.
you both.
Well, we will definitely be following your podcast.
Oh,
I'm not
I
a podcast
appreciate that.
person, but I am now.
Oh, you're so
Brenda-
sweet.
I've been
Brenda
wanting
follows
to
a
get
lot of
into.
podcasts.
Oh, that's
yes.
brilliant. I would love to hear from you in the comments saying, it was me, or
We will stay in touch now for sure.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you both.
Yes.
Brenda,
Oh,
Susan,
thank you.
my pleasure.
Okay.
I'd
Well,
get
good
up,
luck.
but my knees hurt. We
Oh,
did
that's
lots of walking
okay.
Today,
I know.
but,
Darling,
Nice
such
to
a
meet you.
pleasure. Same
Thank
to you, my
so
dear.
much, and good luck.
Thank you.
It was a
Good
treat.
luck.
You're doing good work.
I appreciate you.
it's just amazing what you're doing.
Thank
I love
you.
the whole time.
Oh, thank you. We'll make a comeback in a few different ways.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies.
Carry on, and I hope you have good luck with the next people that you
Thank you.
All right, take care, Binion.
Cheers, ladies.
Bye.
Bye. That was really sweet.